I never played Fierce Fire Emblem, or even get a chance to play it since it was trapped on the island of Nippon. Big N didn't bother it to translate it, but here I am playing it, with help of emulation. Thanks, Team Messen. You heard it right, I played Fierce Fire Emblem in its native language, without being able to read it. And with some help of internet, I did. Just to flex. Making my point now, game is amazing, especially looking at the time when it was made. NES wasn't a future grind to create mesmerizing looking games, but Kaga team didn't bother with limitation of technology of the time. They went full anime, 80s anime. How you go 80s anime on NES? Cautiously. Heavy lifting is done by character poster. They don't need much memory space and remain almost static, so NES can work like a canvas. To complete the solid vision, animation takes place on separate screen, and extreme posing and little help of screen shake make them look grandiose. A limited color palette wasn't a problem at all. Looking on the maps that was made with copy-paste titles, style provides a lot of intel and established settings, with sprinkles of units being constantly moved, make watching and playing a pleasant experience. I would tell you about plot of Fire Emblem, but I don't speak Japanese. Yet, I will tell you a story. A different kind of story that other games on NES cannot provide. All thanks to revolution of saves. Without it, small-scale strategies wouldn't exist at all. Fire Emblem isn't the first game that has this feature. Instead, it's the first that made a story with it. Co-author of it is you. There is a plot about fight of light and dark with Arthurian myth in it. How it's gonna be told lies in your hand and luck. This is procedural storytelling, that small-scale strategies are pioneers and mostly dominate over other genres. All this came from fact that gameplay choices are narrative decisions. Hiring units, naming them, choosing their class, arming them, sending them to fight, their successes and failures. That are parts what you, with those of imagination, will assemble into the story. That gonna outshine prefabricated ones, because it's yours, and yours alone. Or don't care, only focus on numbers and figures on the board. The choice is here. For that, I love those games. Strategic choices, I love them too. Let's set the rules. Turns are granted to entire team and action order is up to you. After doing what you wanted, you have to declare end of your turn. Action like moving can be done freely. Any other will deactivate Unix the next turn. Majority of those actions have one team taking risk, because combat is based on trading blows. So when two sides close horns in combat, attacker go first, then defender retaliate. This would be an effective system. Luckily, Kaga decided to heat things up with some math. Every time violence happens, 3 calculations take place, for a hit, a crit, and a hit again. So you can say a lot lies in the odds. And you're right. The strategy is to rig the odds in your favor. Strike first, pick wounded opponent, use range, hold higher evasion grad, make sacrifices. Have in mind only Mart has to reach the end. To win you have know yourself, enemy and place, and have luck. For me this is one of the best combat systems I ever played. And it's supported by its simplistic progression. Units get XP by taking part in the combat. Slaying a foe isn't a requirement. Level up gives small stat increase. Major improvement happen by giving them better or a different item. There is a flexibility with weapons that class can use. That's basic, yet it's competent. Sometimes not everything what is needed to have depth. What is confusing? Inventory management takes place on the battlefield, without separate menu. It will take a lot of time and is my real only gripe with the gameplay. Equipping, destroying and giving items will finish unit action, making inventory management take several turns, even if all opponents are gone. That is unnecessary busy work. And if you, like me, don't speak Nippon, you can spend first 2 maps without sword for Mart and a bowless archer. Instead of setting, I took this opportunity to give myself a quest. Do not mistake I made it. Bowless bowman was sent to fetch a blade, and his spear left a bow. And this was my Kaga experience. My and my alone. All of this because I didn't reset. In conclusion, this game is still worthy of playing. Looks stunning, can be played even if your Japanese language is a mystery for you, And if you crave those sweet XP, work for it. Here they aren't free. Personally, that's one of the best small-scale strategies. Natural satisfaction would be to check how the series progressed. Indeed, it did, but backwards. Reasons why I will ignore rest of the series lies with a big N and how it harshly treats games its own and make marketing decisions based on creative FOMO, making emulation our only way to experience those games. This is wrong, like the love of Fire Emblem fans. Yes, my fellow Fire Emblem fans, you did found someone to love here, but you fear to lose them, has malformed Fire Emblem experience. The construction of it happened because you desire of this. Removal of permadeath, Tournewind, last one was transformed into the dating sim. All of this because you was afraid to losing someone who doesn't exist. And you got your wish. Others got a romance without love. I hope you are happy with what you got. This will conclude my thoughts on two dominant tactical games in the world. They will be mentioned multiple times in the future, but those behemoths of art had it time to shine. Now, new games away. Like always, unter Tube Turtenwolfs, comments are to your disposal.